I love it when you sing. I love it when you're moving with me.
Welcome back to another Whiskey Lab Cocktail Creations episode. This week we are going to make one of my favorite cocktails, the Old Fashioned. So I'm Blair. I am a bartender here in Houston, Texas, and we have a change of scenery. We are in another beloved downtown Houston bar, the Houston Watch Company, and they actually make many classic cocktails, but the Old Fashioned you can find on their menu in 4 different ways. So we are going to stick to the bourbon Old Fashioned today, and this week we are using Mild & Green's Triple Cask Bourbon, which has that sweet smoothness that you come to love in a bourbon and is going to be amazing in an Old Fashioned. So what are you going to need? Some type of whiskey, and I usually use a bourbon, but if you want to try this out with a rye whiskey, go for it. Some type of bitters. Now I'm using actually 3 types of bitters today. The Angostura is traditionally always found in an Old Fashioned, and then I'm going to use both a dash of orange and cherry bitters. Some type of sugar or sweetener, so I'm going to use simple syrup. We went over how to make simple syrup in the cocktail tip video from a couple episodes back, so you can look into that. But if you want to use raw sugar, that's totally fine. I just find simple syrup is easier to mix in with the whiskey and to dissolve quicker. And then some type of garnish. So I'm going to use an orange peel, and I went out and bought some fancy cocktail cherries. If you're already spending a little bit of money on your whiskey, go ahead and spend some money on the cherries because they really are fun to drink at the end of the cocktail. Other than ingredients, what else are you going to need? Well, you are going to need something to mix your cocktail in, and you are going to need a serving glass, something that has a wide mouth on it so that you can get all the smells of your cocktail. You're also going to need a cocktail spoon, something to peel your orange with, something to strain your cocktail from your mixing glass into the serving glass, and then for the cherries at the end, if you have any sort of toothpick, anything that will rest your cherries nicely at the end. Step 1, you want to chill your whiskey and dissolve your sugar and bitters all together, get this chilled down. So an Old Fashioned is a boozy cocktail, just like our Sazerac or our Vieux Carré. So it is going to be about 2 ounces of whiskey. Now I'm just going to use a very tiny amount of simple syrup for a couple different reasons. One, the cherries that I'm using are already soaking in a sugar syrup, so there's going to be some sweetness that comes from there. Also because in an Old Fashioned, I really enjoy tasting the whiskey. So I'm just going to put not even a whole cocktail spoon size. So this is probably, I would say, maybe 1/8 of an ounce of simple syrup. Okay, and now it is time for the bitters. So because I'm using 3 different types of bitters, I'm just going to use 1 dash of each. So 1 dash of Angostura, 1 dash of the orange bitters, and then I'm going to do 1 dash of cherry bitters. Now, changing up the bitters is one of my favorite things to do in an Old Fashioned to adjust it for the season or for the occasion. So right now it's starting to warm up, spring, summer. Cherry bitters, I think, makes a very refreshing Old Fashioned, but you could add black walnut bitters or chocolate bitters, especially when it gets colder out. It'll deepen it, make it feel more like a warmer beverage. Now we are going to add our ice. And just like all of our spirit forward cocktails, stirring so that you get some of this ice melted. So please stir for at least 20 seconds. Sing whatever hand washing song as we've been doing before. That way you're able to serve this cocktail without ice because it will also chill it all the way down. So I'm gonna let this cocktail chill even a little bit more just by setting it to the side and prepare my serving glass. So first I'm going to take the orange and I'm just gonna use a peel. I wanna peel it over the glass so that that orange oil is expressing over the top of the glass, catching some of that scent, which will be really great when we are drinking the cocktail. And I am also going to gently rub that peel along the edge of the glass. And sometimes your peel might be a little too wobbly. to tear and sit the way we've done with our last couple cocktails, but there we go. And then I'm going to take some of these cherries. I won't lie, I'm one of those people who asks for extra cherries and everything. All right, yeah, I'm going to get a good 3 cherries in there. That is how many I can fit on this particular pick. And then using my strainer over my mixing glass, I am going to return my cherries to the top. And looky there, you have made a classic whiskey cocktail, and you can enjoy. So, well, I mean, I like to drop the cherries right in. So, oh yeah, that's nice. All right, so what are you going to do now? Well, I really hope you will subscribe to the Nyland Green channel so that you can get more Whiskey Lab cocktail creations and also Heather Green's Whiskey School videos coming to you every week. I also hope that you will like this video and take pictures of your cocktail creations or your whiskey shelves. We are going to pick another winner of My Lemon Green swag and a special surprise from the distillery. So how do you enter? You just need to take pictures of either your cocktails or your whiskey shelves, tag My Lemon Green on Facebook or Instagram, and either cocktail creations or whiskey shelfies. And that'll get you entered in so that we can see you, see how much fun you're having, and, pass along the love. Cheers.
I love it when you say, I love it when you're moving with me.